Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss book 45 in R.L. Stine's Goosebumps original series, Ghost Camp. This came out June 96, 118 pages long. July 96, 118 pages long. Excuse me. So, this is the third camp book we had. We've had other books where kids talk about camp, but this is the third, actual camp setting. I had high hopes for this book. I don't remember anything about it. So the first camp book we had was Welcome to Camp Nightmare. Awesome story. It had the twist ending of they were aliens at the end. They were preparing this kid for a science mission to Earth. It was just wild. Did not expect it. Then we had the horror at Camp Jelly Jam, which was wild. Did not expect that giant purple slime monster being the villain and causing the earthquakes, and why were these kids disappearing. That was a good scary monster kind of book. Wonderful. The cover matched the description. Wonderful. I've expressed my concerns numerous times with continuity problems and cover art issues. This is a cover art issue. The story itself is fine. It's not magical. It's not, oh my God, what an amazing twist ending. It was just very rushed. And I don't know. I thought it was strange. We'll talk about it. Now, the cover has nothing to do with the story, right? You have this camp sign. They were at Camp Spirit something. Spirit Moon? Camp Spirit Moon, right? Main head counselor, Uncle Marv, and they're the camp counselors, and then the kids in the cabins, boys on the left, girls on the right, all that good stuff, right? Everything is white. So the camp kids are wearing white shirts, white shorts. Everything is white and clean, right? There nowhere ever is there orange shirts with khaki shorts and hats and red and pink Converses. Never has that any been mentioned anywhere within this, right? Within the story. It's a white shirt with a white short. Not of this. Also, there's two main male characters, Alex and his brother Harry, right? Harry and his brother Alex. There you go. It's in Harry's perspective. Does this regular human mortal female girl with a ponytail look like they are male presenting as Alex and or Harry? No. Who the hell is this girl? Even the girl described in the book, the girl named Lucy in this book, has black hair and dark eyes. Nowhere is there a white girl with blonde hair referenced in this book. I'm annoyed. I'm annoyed. I had a lot of expectations within reading this, in the sense of the expectations were for myself. I wanted the nostalgia aspect. I wanted to say I finally read all 62 books. I finally sat down and I read all 62 books. I have them. I read them. We can talk about them. What, transfers from one story to the next, what continuity there is within Monster Universe. And, this book has my favorite trope in it, that ghosts can be real, that the ghosts in the camp, or everybody in the camp is a ghost. That's the twist, quote unquote, even though it's in the title, Ghost Camp. And then they're real, but you can actually touch them, or they'll play jokes and put a fork through their neck and they'll be fine, or take their head off. But you can actually touch them. You can wrestle with them. You can throw things at them and they can throw things at you. So that's my favorite trope of Goosebumps, going through all of the books. Now, when I started to read and I started to notice things, continuity problems, we just went on a 80-minute rant about that in the last book. It wasn't an 80-minute rant, however long it was, 13 minutes, whatever. That there's continuity problems with books, that some, not all have continuity problems. But the cover art, which is just deemed so glorious, and it's just so aesthetically gorgeous and beautiful and wonderful, I'm concerned with how the art came about. Because so many times now, and I haven't kept track of what cover art doesn't match with the story. I should have done that. Thinking back now, we're not doing that. We're not revisiting again. The artist who did majority of, I think it was 60 of the 62 books. I don't remember their name. But how did he make the cover art without knowing the stuff? Why was this approved? It's a great cover. It's chilling, it's spooky, it's beautiful, it's aesthetically pleasing on the eye. I love it visually. But when you associate it with the actual story, this has nothing to do with it. So I'm concerned because who approved this? Who approved this? This has nothing to do with the story, and yet they still hired this man to paint gorgeous cover art, and I would sacrifice a limb to see where, like, if there was, like, however big these were at one point, like, what's the actual scale of the actual original artwork? Where is the original artwork? Why is it not displayed in museums and, like, traveling the globe in an international celebration at different museums? I would give my left leg to see all of that, all 62 cover arts displayed in a gallery. Oh, it would be incredible. It'd be gorgeous. It'd be fantastic. It's wonderful. Together, all of them have this beautiful, spooky aesthetic. Wonderful. But when you're taking it away from the gorgeous artwork and looking at it from this story perspective, this story has nothing to do with the story of the book. The story in the picture has nothing to do with the story in the book. And we've talked about this many times. Not just once, not just 4 times. We're talking like 15, 20 times I've said I have concerns with the cover because the cover doesn't match the story. So, aside from that, Ghost Camp. Very simple, Camp Spirit Moon. So, Harry and Alex arrive. As the first page, they're on the bus going to camp. And it's their first night. They're roasting weenies by the fire, right? The good old, I don't know if you've been to summer camp, but it's like a thing. You roast hot dogs on the fire. And so, good old campfire songs. Things happen, right? This girl, Lucy, like, puts her hand in the fire to grab the hot dog that fell off. And, like, a kid, like, you know, jokingly knocked some girl's head off. And then it went back. And then another kid stabbed his neck. And he was fine. Things. So they tell a story to Harry and Alex of, like, a spooky, you know, first night story. That there's this black fog that rolls in and then just, like, kills everybody. And then, like, there's a monster that sleeps in the woods. And that's why the ground shakes sometimes. And you'll hear the thump, thump, thump. But then, like, it's really his heart beating. And how dare you stand on his heart and he'll eat you. So as the story progresses, it's revealed that the kids are actually surrounded by ghosts, and the way the ghosts actually died was from a black fog that rolled in and killed everybody, and they can't leave camp. The only way that they can leave camp, ghost-wise, is to possess someone, a living, and the living will take them out. So it's a matter of who's battling whom, ghost-wise, to get Alex, who's battling whom to get Harry, to get out of the camp. So there's the big fight scenes at the end, and then there's the big monster who's actually in the woods, and the thump, and he takes the kids and he swallows them. But the kids are saying in the stomach, I don't believe in you, so you don't exist. I don't believe in you, so you don't exist. And then the monster magically disappears. And I'm like, what a horrible thing to teach the children that the book is entitled to. That if you don't believe something, it doesn't exist. Because we've had this problem here in the States for quite some time. But especially with the pandemic, that you have these idiots who don't believe science, so COVID didn't exist. It's like, that's not how science works. That's not how this works. So I'm reading this and I'm getting horrid flashbacks to 3 years ago when the pandemic first started. And I'm like, oh boy. And then it was revealed that it was actually a ghost trick. That the ghosts manipulated the boys' minds to thinking there was the monster in the woods. And they made them think that they wished the monster away. And I was like, okay, fine. We described it with ghost magic. I'm fine with that. That's fine. But then it's a matter of, you know, the ghosts are continuously fighting at the end, and then a light explosion happens, and the wisps just carry away randomly in the fog. And then Harry realizes that Alex is actually their friend Elvis, who hijacked Alex's body. And that's it. That's it. Dun. But what happened to the ghosts next? The last 5 pages was the conclusion of the story, but it went boom, 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 boom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. It was too quick. You should have given me a full epilogue worth of an ending, a true ending, not 5 pages summary of we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to do that, Elvis is and Alex. I'm like, there was no build up to that. So, like, getting there was fine. The monster reveal, I assumed it was going to be somehow related to King Jellyjam, who ran his own camp. And, like, this monster has his camp. I was like, how cool would that be? But it wasn't. So, it was okay. I had higher hopes upon actually reading it. But, like, what can you do? My biggest concern, of course, is always the cover art doesn't match the story. I want to know the conversations that happened in the mid 90s. The cover art had to have been drawn, I think because he signs his name. T. Jacobus. And it says 95. So he painted it in 95 and the book came out in July 96. Which makes sense if the printing takes a while to actually put a physical book together. But like, how did the conversations go? Did they sit this guy down and say, it's a camp and the kids are ghosts? Go. Is that all it is? Is it a 2-sentence summary? If that, 2-lined something, comma something, and then they just say go paint? If that's how it was, that's horrible because it has nothing to do with the book. I don't know, man. Who's this random girl? Who's the random girl? So, July 96, book 45, R.L. Stine's Ghost Camp, of the 62-book series of Goosebumps. We're almost there. We're getting there. We are plowing through. We got August, we got September, we got October. We got 84 days left till Halloween. I'll definitely finish before then. So long as I keep up with the 3-ish, give or take, books a week. I should be done, in theory, by mid-September if I keep this up. If I don't keep it up, then I will be pushing to end of September. But again, the goal originally was before Halloween, so I'm still on track. So we're still fine. We're good. We're okay. We're copacetic. The status quo is in form. On to the next review. Mahalo.